Let's talk about LSU first, and I find it very funny that I have LSU. All the LSU fans think I hate you guys for some reason, just because I got pissed off because I was getting trolled during the game. I actually really have faith in LSU for this upcoming season, and it comes down to a lot of the things that we were just positive about with Penn State. There is importance in bringing back quarterbacks second year with the same offensive coordinator in the same offense, same team. And it also needs to be recognized that they brought in a lot of premier players to the transfer portal. They had the best transfer portal haul, bringing in Mansur DeLeone. I loved him in the preseason, watching his tape as a draft prospect.
Pause very quickly.
Okay.
They think he's the best DB that they've had. You look through this. Like, you bringing him up?
He's that good of a player.
Dude,
he's that good of a player.
It's everything that staff's talking about is that kid. Continue. Sorry.
But that attention goes in line with what I'm talking about here. Patrick Payton is super high upside, and at the very least, he's a rotational pass rusher. And then the offensive line additions. Here's the only big thing for me with LSU, though, and why I stick them at 6 for that reason. One, they got to run the football better. I think Sloan needs to be a better decision maker, and it's going to be a second year calling plays that there should be hopefully some improvement. I don't know what to expect with this offensive line. And I think that they've recruited well enough that we can be optimistic that Brian Kelly, he was at Notre Dame, and there was just always the next man up. There were guys in the wing. But you're losing two of the best tackles, the best tackle duo in the sport. And that's not all you're losing. Like, I think that if there is
replacing 4, potentially 5.
I think when you're losing that much, it needs to be recognized. And if there's something that holds them back, it's that, and learning if their interior defensive line can be better.
I think this is how I would paraphrase LSU at the current moment. I'm with you. Basically, this is what you're saying, and I'm with you. Do they have the talent to be a playoff contending team? Yes. They have the talent to be a playoff contending team. Barry Brown, dude, Chris Hilton came back from injury, had 3 touchdowns at the end of the season. Garrett took a better leap when Brian Kelly got involved in play calling. And, Joe, you can laugh at this all you want to. I have been clamoring for the last 6 to 8 weeks for Brian Kelly to get involved in play calling. Garrett took a massive leap forward when Brian Kelly had a play sheet and was doing stuff. BK has got to be more involved. I don't like him micromanaging because I think he's too good to micromanage. Go be in there and go dominate it. Because you did. A top 15 defense in Oklahoma, quite frankly, you couldn't run the ball all year. Brian Kelly gets a call sheet. You're lining up and manhandling dudes. I'm with you there. Listen, this is coming from an LSU dude. You better go out there and start proving it. I put more pressure on the staff. I put more pressure on this team. I put more pressure on this organization than Notre Dame fans, and I'm going to say it like that, Notre Dame fans realize. But I'm trying to be as realistic as possible when it comes to LSU. Talk about getting over the hump. Now, LSU has gotten over the hump more than most, okay, as an institution. They got a lot to prove. Go win a game one. Joe, they haven't won a first game at LSU because they play all these premier games literally since Joe Burrow's been here. Think about that. They haven't won one. You got to start off by going into South Carolina and beating Clemson and running the football. There are other talented kids, 5-star kids that came in here, top 5 dudes, okay, that were 5 stars. They're expecting to be contributors day one. DJ Pickett is going to be on the boundary along with Mansur DeLeone. What do you do at safety? Joe, I think that they're going to put Harold Perkins on the edge finally. And I think that is a big difference. Now, I think he's gotten dominated in the running game, but they have talent. They have top 10 talent. If they fall short of that, it's because, number one, they continue to turn the ball over. Number two, they couldn't run the ball. But here's the biggest statistic of all. I know it like the back of my hand. Brian Kelly, in every SEC loss that he has since being at LSU, has averaged defensively of giving up 250 rushing yards per game.
That's awful. That's awful.
Now I'm going to give him a little bit of grace. Here's why. Ed left him a shit sandwich. He had 39 scholarship players. It was not pretty. And nobody really wants to give him that grace because of the portal and everything that's going. No one wants to give him that grace. I'm going to give him that grace. But there comes a time where things have got to start getting better. It's now. It's his second year with Bo Davis and Kevin Peoples. You went out and got 4 defensive linemen from the portal. Joe, quite frankly, here's the truth. LSU's got to, as a program, has got to stop being soft because they've been soft.
I say this not to troll because I know that it's going to be perceived as such, but the last part
I called them soft a little. So how would you be trolling more than I am?
Well, I was just going to bring up the same thing I bring up every single time. The last part about this is Brian Kelly's got the Alabama win, and that was a great win that they had 2 years ago. They, just like what we're talking about here with James Franklin, he's got to start winning the big games. He's got to go to Tuscaloosa this year, right? They're going to Bama. They got to win that. You just mentioned the Clemson game. That is going to be
Tuscaloosa, yeah.
That's going to be a tone setter for the beginning of the year for both of those teams, who we both ranked Clemson in the top 10.
Neither one of us have Bama in our top 10.
I don't have super
high
hopes for Bama next year. I think they're top 10, top 12 team. I think that they might make a playoff, but I don't know if they're.
Well, then there comes a part there, Joe, where I'm just going to call it like I see it. Then, okay. Then that means they're going into Tuscaloosa and winning.
Well, but my counter to that is, and we saw this more than anything this year, is that it's impossible to go on the road and win in the SEC. And I know that LSU lost this year at home.
It's 1 year though.
All I'm just trying to point out is that
I'm not going to make 1 year the outright rule.
That's fair. I'm just trying to say that I think that it's one of the toughest road conferences to get wins.
Oh, without
even if Alabama's messy and Ty Simpson, is shaky and inconsistent.
Ty Simpson's even the quarterback.
Right. If he's even the quarterback, it's not Austin Mack or whatever they end up doing. Brian Kelly has to win these top 10 matchups. He has to start stacking those because that's ultimately